Perfect. Perfect.
All right, everybody, what's going on? And welcome to today's edition of SWAC Talk. Of course, this is the show we cover the SWAC inside and out. And I am your tour guide around the SWAC. C. Wells coming at you. And man, we gonna talk a little bit about social media in the SWAC. This is one of the things that a lot of people talk about. It's been bantered back and forth. It's been bantered back and forth quite a bit. Some people may feel like the league has done everything they can do. Some people feel like the schools haven't done as much. I'm of the mindset that there's never you can never do too much. Honestly, I feel like the opportunities to grow your brands and just get content out there. I always feel like that is a situation that can always be taken advantage of, always grown. It's a never-ending battle. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So go ahead and hit those socials. Facebook is SWAC Talk, Instagram SWAC Talk, Twitter SWAC Talk 76. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you have, thank you very much. Like the video, share them, and feel free to comment on your thoughts on what can be done to take better advantage of all the platforms that we have. Basically, I did a video about this last year. So I just wanted to go back and look and see how much changes, how much growth these platforms have had. And by seeing this, the one thing I will start off saying is I looked at Instagram and Twitter. I looked at the football page for each school's Twitter account and the football for the Instagram account, and the overall athletic department Instagram page. And the one thing I can say is every platform had a positive growth from last season to now. So the audiences are growing. I mean, you got Alabama A&M. Their football Instagram page grew over 1,400 followers. Bama State, they grew over 3,000 followers on Instagram and 10,000 on Twitter. You look at a school like Jackson State, obviously, they have grown a lot. They went from 163,000 followers on Instagram to 33,000. That's growth of over 6,000. Excuse me. I messed it up. Yeah, they went from 163,000 to 254,000. That's a growth of 91,000 people. Twitter from 53.8 thousand people to 82.3K. So that's a growth of almost 30,000 people. Even Valley, their Twitter account has over 15,000 followers, almost 16,000. The Instagram account has over 1,000. The schools, these numbers are all going up. Some are not going up as high as others, but there's a growth. Like Grambling took a big jump. They went from they grew over 4,000 followers on Instagram, on the football Instagram, and over 11,000 on Twitter. So the growth is there. I think some programs are taking advantage of these platforms and producing really good content. You got Jackson State doing their thing, you got FAMU doing their thing, Grambling is doing a great job, and you even got Valley in here, miking up coaches and posting all this stuff on, on their Instagram account. And then, other schools are sporadic. Southern, they do, they are, up and down. The actual athletic department page for Southern is they do a good job. The football page, they'll drop some content, then they won't. But they'll kind of hit or miss. But then you got some that don't really put out much. And I feel like that's dropping the ball. I mean, like I said, this stuff is simple. I'm not saying you have to put out, a documentary or anything like that, but even if it's just pictures, man, take some stills at practice. I know a lot of coaches don't want a lot of that stuff, documented, but a lot of times they'll have an open period before they get to the nitty gritty. Maybe some videos, some guys warming up. Maybe coaches, mic'd up. Those kind of things open the door for you to see what's going on with your program, because that is an avenue that does not get taken advantage of, and that's the lack of information sometimes that comes from our schools. Like nobody puts out very few people put out a spring roster. And if you're like me and you want to look and work on some things and know who's going and who's there, a spring roster is vital, man. Otherwise, you're working through the last fall roster, and with the portal and all this kind of things, man, guys might be gone. Or they, maybe they're still out. So sometimes you do a video and you find out that this person not there no more. So you got to kind of navigate that. But I just think that this is something that can grow even more, like taking advantage of what you have, and being able to use it. Like I said, if you even look at, YouTube, streaming spring games on YouTube or Facebook, I think those are kind of things that are definitely great for you. It can generate interest. It can get people, because everybody's not going to travel for a spring game. So if you got people who want to watch, have it down. I don't really necessarily think you need to pay for it, because there are a few schools who have networks that you have to pay for. I'm not necessarily a fan of paying for that kind of stuff, but being able to produce and put out things that let people know what's going on. Like I'm a uniform guy. I love football uniforms. I love different combinations and whatnot. So one of the things I really like on like a Friday night or Saturday morning is to see what my team is wearing, before the game. I mean, that might not be a big deal to a lot of people, but for me, it is. And I know there's other people that feel that way. So, a uniform reveal, video, a snapshot or something, is always a good thing. It kind of gets me extra amped up for the game, because sometimes you see a nice combination that maybe you haven't seen before, or maybe one of your favorite combos. So those kind of things I like. There's it's being done in certain places, but others is not. I just think that a lot of us need to just take advantage of everything that's out there, man. People creating content, can really produce some nice things for these schools, even on an independent basis. Take advantage of this realm that we have. I think a lot of people don't like the YouTube the YouTube universe in HBCU sports. So I think there's an avenue there, because that's social media. There's an avenue there that definitely can be tapped into. I'm not necessarily saying, anybody needs to work for a particular school, but being able to, have things produced for you for each school, or interviews for players and things like that, being able to come directly from you to that platform, and then they put it out, just different things, that can build your brand and sell your program. Because a lot of, that was, I was talking to my boy DJ, who is one of the co-hosts of SWAC Smoke, and he was saying, how do you sell a school? And I was like, I don't know. I'm like, well, you use tradition, you use this, you use that, you use local area. Well, you use your social media platforms to sell your program because everybody who is of college age is pretty much on social media. So being able to show what you're working on, show what you have, any construction on facilities, or just showing the camaraderie of guys, the coaches, just things like not just on the field, but off the field, kind of maybe some things to get to know some of the guys. Um, those are some of the things that I think can help sell your program. Now, everybody doesn't need that because some programs are on the basis of selling themselves. But if you're on that cusp of where do we go from here, then I think that kind of stuff is big for you. Like I I would really love to see and hear more from Pine Bluff. They have a new coach. Maybe have him do little snippets of things, and kind of get to know who he is. Same thing with Bethune Cookman. It's being able to get the knowledge out there of what's going on, and what can be done to get better. I mean, everybody's picking up followers. Every platform is growing, but I don't think that everybody's taking advantage of it. I just, I just like little things like the hype videos, highlights after games, just different things like that. I mean, sometimes some platforms don't even always update the game. You might get a first quarter score and then you don't get nothing else, or you might get a halftime score and then you don't get nothing else. So just being able to be consistent with what's put out definitely goes a long way. I know a lot of people don't really look at the official pages of the teams, and I think that's because a lot of people feel like they're not getting anything that they want to see. So being able to direct people to those pages and being able to see what's going on it's a great thing. One of my favorite moments from the Southern basketball season, which there weren't a lot, but one of my favorite moments was when they were in Utah for the HBCU Classic, and Dwayne Wade stopped by to practice, and he did alley oop with one of the players, and that kind of grew a little bit, and that just kind of was one of the things that just let some fun things are going on. You look at some of the viral moments, from like FAMU softball, grounding softball, the FAMU cheerleader who was mic'd up, even Valley, miking up their coaches, man. The last week that took off. That opened eyes of on Valley's program. Now, this kind of stuff obviously is not gonna get you paid per se, so you still have to find ways to generate revenue, but to generate interest, you have to use these kind of things. And the quote, my girl Yard Talk HBCU, exposure coins. You can't spend no exposure coins, so you still got to find money, in the real world. But this kind of thing at least generates that interest. There's no substitute for actual dollars, but those things, can operate in both realms. So basically, I'm saying all that to say, man, I like the growth of the audiences, but I think we need to give everybody more things, because sometimes, I mean, some people actually do depend on those accounts to know what's going on. They're not as plugged in as other people. Sometimes, dealing with a lot of HBCU programs, you got to know somebody that knows somebody to really get the information. You can't necessarily get it from just looking here, looking there. And I just think that there's an avenue, a lane on the YouTube area that is not being taken advantage of. And I know I said that a couple minutes ago, but when you look at some of the other, I don't really like to compare to Power 5 because resources, but it don't cost money for somebody independently to create a YouTube channel. It don't cost money for somebody independently to start an Instagram page and kind of maybe showcase whatever their favorite school is, and start fan pages and things like that. So, those kind of avenues are wide open. I think, to a degree, the programs have to be open to working with some of the content creators, and being able to get your message out there, but get it out there in a way that shows all, not a fluff piece type of thing where everything, when it comes to the videos and things, like you want to be able to have like, transparency, but you also want to be able to have, something to kind of generate the interest and generate the hype for especially, coming off of the spring or going into spring games, you know, being able to see the drafts, the draft streamed, FAMU and Grambling definitely did a good job with that. Those are the kind of things that, can constantly grow and get bigger and become something that you look out for the next season, and just being able to, when camp get ready to open up, maybe you highlight a senior, maybe you highlight an incoming freshman. You interview guys. I love like the question of the days type videos. Those kind of things kind of give you a snapshot into the team itself and the guys, because especially with football, you wear a helmet, nobody really know what a lot of these guys look like. So I think it's great to know some of the personalities on these teams, because there's a lot of great personalities on every team. So being able to showcase those is something that I would love to see more from most schools. I'm not going to say everybody, because like I said, there are some programs that are really doing a good job. Obviously, you can always do better, but there's a lot of programs that are doing really great work. I think Jackson State is doing a great job. I know a lot of people are kind of upset that the content is not necessarily like it was before, but they're going in a different direction and they're doing what works for their program now. And that's highlighting players and coaches and, just, the Under Armour relationship, just different. It's different, but it's still good. You don't, TC Taylor is not Deion Sanders. So why would you follow him like you follow Prime? That's not even in his character to be that way. So you have to kind of reconstruct and rearrange. And, I think they're doing a great job. I don't really know what a lot of people are upset about when it comes to that. Like I said, FAMU doing great work. Grambling doing great work. I keep bringing up Valley, but the last couple of weeks, Valley's been doing well and it's generating some interest. Their coaches are becoming visible on social media, and that would be my final point of the day. I think coaches need to be more visible on social media. I always say I don't expect you to, tweet or post an IG picture every day, but I think you need, even if you get somebody to run it for you, I think you need to be active on there. It just helps, it helps bridge the gap between you and your fan base. Even if it's just, announcing when you get a commitment, or it's Friday, game day is Saturday, man, y'all get hyped up, whatever, just something like that to generate the interest and showcase what you have on your program, on your team, showcase your coaches' personalities and just take advantage of all the resources that we can gather in a realm that don't really cost nothing to make. You can make videos on almost any phone now. Cameras are pretty good on almost any phone now. So you can just, you don't need top-notch equipment to do any of this. But, obviously it helps when you're trying to get more into making longer videos and things like that. But I think, just taking advantage of every opportunity, man, just flooding, man. I think you got to flood. I think you just got to flood, and just put the content out there, put it out there, and hope it's gonna catch on, because, like I said, your audiences are growing, so something is drawing people to you. Now it's time to deliver to them, and I do think it can get there, but I think it's gonna take a shift in mindset at some places. There are still some people who don't really look at social media as vital, which I don't understand, because it's 2023 and social media is everywhere. I mean, you got Wendy's, throwing shots at people. You got Burger King and Sonic or whatever going back and forth. You got these kind of things going on, so take advantage of it. So, like I said, I say all that to say I like the growth that is taking place with the audiences. I think everybody is doing a great job. Whether it's just a residual of the prime effect, or it's people actively seeking out each school. But it's great to see these pages grow, and now it's time to really put the pedal to the metal and get the content out there, and give give even more opportunities for people to be aware of what's going on. So that's gonna do it for today's show. I just wanted to hop in and drop a little something because this has been on my mind for a long time. So it really was one of those things. I just wanted to get it out there. And yeah, obviously this is a topic that come up on SWAC Smoke a lot. So it'll be talked about at another time. So with that being said, man, I'm C Wells, your tour guide around the SWAC, signing out. Got another video probably gonna be dropping on Wednesday, and then SWAC Smoke live on Thursday, and then another edition of SWAC Talk on Sunday. So you know how we do over here, man. We got our little thing going on, so don't miss it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, please hit that button, and like the video, that like button, and let me know what you think can be done to make the social media presence of these schools grow. What kind of content they could drop, and just things like that. So with that being said, man, I'm C Wells. I'm signing out. Y'all enjoy y'all Monday, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.